I just want to say I'm here so I won't get fined. In case you didn't like that. Okay, there's too many mics. I don't have room for my notes. What am I supposed to do here? It's a bad problem to have, isn't it?
Hold it in front of you.
As you may have heard, some of us were in San Jose yesterday for an announcement with Bakersfield becoming the Edmonton Oilers American League Hockey affiliate starting next season. As Ryan alluded to, we're still playing in the ECHL this year and hope to finish off on a high note, starting with cap giveaway tonight against the Utah Grizzlies. But moving ahead next year into the AHL, the American Hockey League, it's the highest level of sport that will ever be in this community, and to be a part of that is very exciting. Next season, the players on the ice will be one step away from the National Hockey League, and if you think about that, that's pretty cool. That a game on Friday night, fans could be watching players here on the ice, and the next night they could be watching them on TV in Edmonton. The team, a lot of which is in this room, that has gotten us to this point off the ice will largely stay intact. And of course we're excited about that. But by the team, I mean, of course, the hardworking staff of the Bakersfield Condors, past and present. The folks in our office have worked tirelessly to get us to be ingrained in the community and to get us to where we stand today. I also mean other folks when I say our team, not necessarily folks on our payroll, but I'm talking about the city and Alan Tandy, who visions of building this building, a fantastic building that we're so fortunate to call our home. In that team, I also include the folks at Rabobank Arena, the management team, AEG and Aramark. Not only do they house a first-rate professional hockey team here, but bring first-rate entertainment and shows and events into Bakersfield. They've also done a great job. This building, I think when you walk into it, most people can't believe it's 17 years old. It looks much younger than that, and that's a tribute to the staff here at the arena. Also, I consider part of our staff and the folks that got us here and our team, all the volunteers that work behind the scenes, the many ambassadors that we have for the Condors in and around the community, and the fans, also past fans, present fans, and it's really the Condors fans that deserve the most credit for where we are today, and the most congratulations and thank you for where we are today. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Jonathan Fleissig and recognize him, our previous owner, our owner of the majority of the history of this franchise, the history of our existence, a person that gave a lot of time, money, love to our organization and this community. You know, we're part of the Edmonton Oilers. We're part of the Oilers Entertainment Group, and that's a big organization, and we're a small part of that. But we were fortunate enough to have them take us under their wing, first as an ECHL affiliate, and a year ago this week they purchased our organization. Going back a little deeper, if I may, to additional history that got us here today. In the 1980s, of course, the Oilers were a dynasty in the National Hockey League, winning 5 Stanley Cups. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, Grant Fuhrer, Mark Messier, Kevin Lowe, and a host of other stars that were part of that dynasty. In 1980, Wayne Gretzky was, of course, traded to the Los Angeles Kings, and that kind of started the explosion of ice hockey here in California, specifically Southern California. The LA Kings, if you can believe it, in 1988 were not only the only National Hockey League team in California, but the only professional hockey team in California. There was one 25 years ago, the Los Angeles Kings, and look where we are today and moving into next year. So Gretzky started the explosion of hockey in Southern California and on the West Coast. Obviously, a lot's happened in those last 25 years, a lot of which we're talking about today. In the 6 years after Gretzky came to the Kings, youth hockey participation increased 220% in just 6 years. In the past 15 years across the United States, youth hockey participation has increased 23%. In the past 10 years in California alone, youth hockey participation has increased 40%. The number of native Californians getting drafted each year, playing in the NHL each year, goes up, including last night we were at the Sharks-Ducks game in San Jose, and the Sharks have a player that played in their junior San Jose, the San Jose Junior Sharks organization, and now he plays for the Sharks. How exciting for those kids and that community, and you know how exciting that could be for Bakersfield someday. The state of California has the 6th most players in youth hockey registered with USA Hockey. USA Hockey is the governing body that oversees youth hockey. The state of California has the 6th most of any state. Of the top 5, the southernmost state is Illinois. You can probably guess the other 4 states. So what's transpired in pro hockey the last 20 years in Bakersfield? I probably don't need to go over this, but I will anyway. The Bakersfield Oilers played here in the Pacific Southwest Hockey League in '94 and '95. That led to, of course, the Bakersfield Fog that played next door on the stage with Chicken Wire in the West Coast Hockey League in '95 through '98. As this building was being built, then we moved next door and became the Bakersfield Condors in the West Coast Hockey League in 1998. We were in the West Coast Hockey League, the WCHL, through 2003. In 2002, but for the playing season 2003, we joined the ECHL, which was previously called the East Coast Hockey League, which obviously that name didn't make much sense anymore. So for the past 12 years, we've played in the Coast, the ECHL. Youth hockey in Bakersfield alone, I want to touch a little bit on that. Obviously, it's grown in the last 20 years since the Condors have been here. There are about 20 former Condors that call Bakersfield their home, that live here. None of them are from Bakersfield. They came here to play with the team, and now they live here. Almost every child that plays hockey next door or puts on a pair of skates has some contact, coaching, run-in affiliation with a former professional hockey player. And I just think that's amazing, and possibly nowhere else in North America can a community claim that, so that's pretty cool. Going back to the Condors a little bit, pre-Oilers, if you will. We were independent for many, many years, and then in 2007, Brian Burke came up to Bakersfield to check us out, to tour our facilities, the ice rink next door, the surrounding areas, and told me about his vision to bring American League hockey, the American Hockey League, out west. And this was in 2007, and he probably had that vision for some time before that, but at that time he wanted his AHL affiliate to be in San Diego, which it's going to be next year, and he wanted his ECHL team to be here in Bakersfield, which obviously that's not going to happen, but an interesting embryo of the idea and where we are today. Without the ECHL, I might add, obviously we wouldn't be here today either. There's now 28 healthy members in the ECHL. Of course, we've been members the last 12 years. I've been on the board and the executive committee for most of those years. And certainly without the ECHL and the accomplishments that the teams have had, this West Coast migration and us talking about this today would not be possible. I was part of the move back in 2002 when then the East Coast Hockey League was looking to absorb the West Coast Hockey League, if you will. Rick Adams was the league commissioner of the time of the ECHL. This was a vision of his, and here we are today. And then the current commissioner of the ECHL, Brian McKenna, has followed through on that. Obviously, many others have been involved to get that league to the healthy 28 teams there are today. I bring that up because there are 30 teams in the NHL, there are 30 teams in the AHL, and there are 28 teams in the ECHL. So that's how professional hockey stands now. And this migration west is a step, another step, a significant step in getting professional hockey to what will hopefully be vertical integration through its AA, its AAA, and directly alignment with the National Hockey League. So that's just pretty exciting for the entire sport of hockey. One of the questions that we've been asked, of course, throughout this process of, okay, well, what happens to the ECHL team that was in Bakersfield? Well, as was announced on the other coast earlier today, that team goes to Norfolk, Virginia. So starting next year, Edmonton Oilers at the National Hockey League level, Bakersfield at the American Hockey League level, and then Norfolk becomes Edmonton's ECHL affiliate, essentially what we are right now. The future is very exciting for professional hockey in Bakersfield and hockey in general. The track record of the Oklahoma City Barons that currently is Edmonton's AHL team is impressive. Right now they have the best record in the American Hockey League. They've made the playoffs the last 5 years. They have the best record in the American Hockey League, largely in part to some former Condors, LB obviously in net, the Jones brothers, Josh Winquist, and a handful of other former Condors that play in them. So that's pretty exciting and may bode for the future that maybe some of those players would be back, here in Bakersfield next year. I want to touch on the rivalries of the teams that we've played against and we will be playing against. Obviously, we'll be playing out here in the West Division of the AHL against Stockton, against Ontario, teams that we've developed rivalries with over the last 10 years. I'm confident that those will even be ramped up more so. There will be a team down in San Diego. I'm also confident that we can rekindle the love that we had with the team in San Diego previously when they were there, and adding a new rivalry in San Jose. All the teams within a 4-hour drive. So pretty exciting for our fans and the fans of those communities as well. Being part of the Oilers Entertainment Group has been a tremendous ride over the last year. We're very excited about what the future holds, just a ton of excitement, and we also look forward to finding out what the name of our team will be next year.